What is up, guys? This is Matt from Hanley Gaming. Now, the dumpster fire that was 2020 is finally over, and it is now 2021, and hopefully this year is going to be better. So let's start it off by looking at the free PlayStation Plus games for January 2021. Alright, so first up is the game that is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Now, since I don't have this game yet, I can't really say much on it. A friend of mine, though, he does have a PlayStation 5, and he played it, and he platinumed it in a few days, but despite it being a relatively short title, he said it is a lot of fun and does recommend it, so give Maneater a try. Alright, so next up we got the two games that are both playable on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. First, we'll look at Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It was developed by Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal, and it was published by Square Enix. It came out in 2018, and it is the sequel to 2015's Rise of the Tomb Raider, and it is the third game in this series reboot. So for the gameplay in this, the gameplay is very similar to Rise of the Tomb Raider, only there is less focus on combat and more in traversing the environment and solving puzzles. I'm not saying there's no combat, there is, it's just not as prevalent as in the previous entry. And the traversal mechanics, they seem the exact same in most spots, and even the animations look recycled from the last game. But just like in the last game, the gameplay is solid, the design is aesthetically pleasing, and the story and voice acting is engaging and believable. And despite its lack of combat and the similarity between this Tomb Raider and the last one, it is still a very enjoyable experience, and I recommend it. Next up is Greedfall. Now, Greedfall is an action RPG that was made in 2018. It was developed by Spiders and published by Focus Home Interactive. Now, I was thinking when I saw Focus Home Interactive, I'm like, who is that? I know the name. And then when I thought about it, I remembered there were two games a little recently that were both free titles for PlayStation Plus that were both published by Focus Home Interactive. Those were Farming Simulator and The Surge, neither of which I liked. So, did I like this game? Well, let's see. Alright, so being an action RPG, it needs to have an engaging story. Now, I found this game to be very flat when it came to that aspect, and the voice acting didn't help. It was very subpar. It's not the worst that I've seen. You know, the award for that would go to the original Resident Evil for PlayStation.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
There are terrible demons. Ouch!
You're wounded.
Whoa! This hall is dangerous. There must be a back door somewhere. Let's try to find it first, shall we? Just a moment. I found something.
What is it?
It's a weapon. It's really powerful, especially against living things.
But it was bad enough. The story itself I did not find engaging at all. I played over 3 hours of this game, and I still wasn't interested that far in. It just did nothing for me. Graphically, this game isn't impressive either. I've seen PlayStation 3 games that look nicer. You know, the environments weren't even that great, and when you're listening to the subpar dialogue and, you know, the mouths aren't even matching what they're saying, it's pretty bad.
Well, then, that is a pity. Have a pleasant voyage. A brilliant future awaits you. They say that it is a marvelous island.
And, you know, there's a lot of that. Some places it matched up pretty well, but a lot of places it didn't even match. And the animations looked awkward and clumsy. And just the gameplay itself, it seemed basic in some parts, and then just very complex without any explanation in others. It was not consistent at all. And then when it came to creatures that were dead on the ground, you could walk right through them. There was one that was absolutely massive. It was like a boss fight, and when I killed him, I could just walk through him, and it was like he wasn't even there, you know. And even some clothing, you're walking and you see your legs come through the coat. It just was not done very well. You know, there's other parts where, say, you're going up or down stairs or around a box or something that's on the street, and there's just an invisible wall and you can't move. And there were a few spots where I thought I'd have to restart the game because I just couldn't move my character, because it was like he all of a sudden was in an invisible box, and no matter what way you went, you couldn't get out. I experienced that a few times. Now thankfully I could get out and I didn't have to restart the game, but you know, if I wasn't as patient as I was with it, then I would have restarted the game and I would have been quite angry. Come to think of it, I don't think there was anything that I liked about this game. You know, the combat was fun for all of 5 minutes, but it's so basic and easy that it doesn't stay enjoyable. You know, there's dodge and parry, but the timing is so easy to master that there's no real challenge. And you know, I've been playing some other action RPGs, like for instance I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that is technically a action RPG now, and the combat is so much better. And for a game that's made in 2018 as an action RPG, you would think that the fighting anyways would be better, but it's not. There's not very many controls to the combat. There's an attack button, there's you know, you hit square to attack, then triangle is a different attack. You press a button whichever you mapped to shoot your gun, and dodge and parry, that is it. There's no like different buttons that you can press for different combos. You know, it's just whatever weapon you're using, that's the one that you're going to do. There's only one combo. It just seems too basic. There's nothing in the story that keeps you engaged to want to come back more. The story seems very flat and boring. Now, I don't know if it picks up later on or if the combat gets better, but 3 hours in, it wasn't, and I was just not enjoying myself. And after 3 hours, if it takes that long for the story to pick up, then it's not a game that I'm going to be interested in. I'm not going to invest more time hoping that it gets better when it's not. After 3 hours, you gotta have something. So yeah, this game, I did not have fun with it. Some people that I've talked to said that they've found it okay, or they've heard it's an okay game. Me personally, I can't recommend it because I did not like it at all. And there are some action RPGs that I do enjoy, and again, this is not one of them. So for Focus Home Interactive, that's 3 games that I've played on PlayStation Plus, and that's 3 games that I didn't like on PlayStation Plus from you. So yeah, a thumbs down for this one. I can't recommend it. Alright guys, that is all from me for this video. I hope to see you guys in the next video. If you like that video, leave a like, comment below, tell me if you've played any of these games, if you're planning on it, you know, if you agree or disagree with the way I've described these games. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.